The year was 2189, and Earth stood on the brink of a new era. After decades of interstellar expansion, humankind believed it had finally begun to tame the darkness beyond its world. Colonies thrived, starships cut through the void like silver arrows, and corporations like Weyland-Yutani quietly shaped the destiny of mankind from the shadows. But deep beneath their achievements lay a hunger, an ambition that reached far beyond ethical boundaries. It began with a signal. A faint, pulsing transmission intercepted far above the South Pacific. The message was indecipherable, a distorted pattern that matched no known species, no starship code, and no cosmic anomaly. It was unlike anything encountered before, yet disturbingly similar to the corrupted beacon once found on LV-426, decades earlier. Weyland-Yutani recognized the signature instantly. It was xenomorph DNA, embedded in sound. Within hours, a Black Ops research vessel, the WSV Cerberus, was dispatched to track the source. Among the hand-selected team was Dr. Elena Ryder, a xenobiologist with a controversial past, and Captain Marcus Hale, a decorated military officer with a grim history of border conflicts. Neither trusted the company, but both were bound by contract and circumstance. The signal led them not into space, but back to Earth. Hidden beneath kilometers of ocean, deep in a trench untouched by human exploration, the source pulsed patiently. And it was waking. The discovery. The Cerberus deployed a remote submersible into the trench. Cameras pierced the darkness until they revealed something impossible, an enormous, ancient object half buried in the seafloor. It resembled the biomechanical architecture of the derelict spacecraft found decades earlier, but its scale dwarfed anything previously recorded. Dr. Ryder could only whisper, This predates human civilization." As the drones scanned the artifact, a viscous green fluid began emerging from cracks in the structure, dripping like venom into the surrounding water. Sensors went wild. The fluid contained dormant xenomorph spores, preserved for centuries, waiting for a host. Weyland-Yutani immediately ordered a containment operation. Captain Hale disagreed. "We seal this trench," he argued. "We nuke it before anything spreads." The company refused. Their greed opened a door Earth would never close again. The awakening. That night, the artifact responded to the probing human presence. It released a shockwave that reverberated through the ocean. The fluid intensified, glowing unnaturally as it drifted toward warmer waters, toward life. Within hours, fish, whales, and deep-sea creatures mutated grotesquely. Some dissolved entirely, others sprouted razor-lined mandibles and serpentine limbs. But these early mutations were unstable, collapsing before reaching the surface. The real threat would come later. When the artifact split open, a towering biomechanical chamber emerged, rising toward the ocean surface. At its center was a creature that had never been documented. Larger than a queen, sleeker than a drone, its skull elongated like obsidian glass and dripping with fluorescent acid. A Titan-class Xenomorph, an apex variant designed for planetary extermination. It released a roar that echoed through the water like a dying star. Earth had been marked. Containment breach. When the creature attacked the Cerberus, the ship stood no chance. Hull integrity shattered. Acid tore through steel as crew members screamed in the chaos. Dr. Ryder and Captain Hale barely escaped in an emergency shuttle, plunging back toward mainland Asia. By the time they made landfall, the infection had already reached Earth's coasts. Tide pools bubbled with the glowing xenomorph fluid. Birds that fed on. Contaminated fish mutated mid-flight, burning alive as their bodies failed to stabilize. Coastal towns reported sightings of strange black shapes crawling out of the surf. Governments panicked. By day 3, 6 continents had reported outbreaks. Weyland-Yutani issued a global emergency broadcast, framing themselves as the saviors. But the truth leaked. They had known about the signal weeks earlier and allowed the experiment to continue. The world erupted. The last stand. Dr. Ryder formed an underground coalition of scientists, soldiers, and civilians who refused to surrender the planet. Captain Hale became their tactical leader. They operated out of an abandoned bunker in the ruins of a coastal research city. Ryder discovered something crucial. The alien Titan emitted a sub-frequency call that awakened dormant spores embedded in Earth's ecosystem, spores likely delivered by ancient extraterrestrial visits. The Titan is not invading, she realized. It is activating a biological seed planted thousands of years ago. It was not an attack. It was a harvest. If they killed the Titan, the signal would stop. But reaching it meant entering the oceanic ruins where the derelict structure still pulsed like a beating heart. Into the abyss. Equipped with exosuits and experimental pulse rigs, the resistance descended into the trench. The water glowed eerily with drifting spores. Shadowy xenomorph shapes swam past them with fluid, predatory grace. "Keep your nerves," Captain Hale whispered. "They sense fear." At the trench floor, the Titan awaited. Its massive skull reflected the blue searchlights, and its jaws drooled acid that steamed in water. It struck with terrifying speed, ripping apart drones and sending shockwaves across the seafloor. Ryder activated a prototype sonic disruptor tuned to the Titan's bio-frequency. The creature writhed in agony, its psychic call collapsing into static. "Now," Hale shouted. The team detonated thermal charges around the derelict remains. The explosion tore the ancient structure apart, sending a pillar of light and debris into the ocean. The Titan shrieked as its power source, the derelict, crumbled. Its exoskeleton cracked, its inner jaw spasmed violently. Hale delivered the final blow, driving an explosive lance into its chest. The Titan collapsed, sinking into the abyss. Aftermath. The world was scarred but alive. Without the Titan's signal, the global mutations weakened, collapsing into lifeless husks. Governments resumed control, though millions were lost. Weyland-Yutani denied responsibility, but leaked documents sparked worldwide outrage. Dr. Ryder became a symbol of resistance, urging humanity to unite. Captain Hale disappeared quietly, unwilling to be a public hero. But deep in the trench, among the ruins of the derelict, a single green drop of alien fluid separated from the debris. It floated upward, toward the light. The nightmare wasn't over, it had only begun.